Hello and welcome to the first Fit-4-Rugby podcast. Today we're going to look at weight training with a dabble at some off-feet conditioning. We're going to be doing a fitness weight circuit, some strength through some core lifts, a rowing session and an upper body session. The first session is the fitness circuit. Here we are, we're going to look at a single arm dumbbell overhead squat, followed by some single leg plyo lateral hops, followed by weighted dumbbell lunge, followed by some bodyweight jump lunges. Here's the single arm dumbbell overhead squat. Here we're looking to keep the back in a neutral position, getting a good range, looking to get to the legs below or at 90 degrees, keeping that back safe, arm nice and tight and strong above the head. Straight into some lateral hops, nice and explosive, 5 on each leg, bouncing left and right. The chances are you'll see a difference between your strong dominant leg and your other one, but that's what we're trying to improve. We then pick up the dumbbells straight into some dumbbell lunges. This is important to keep the legs and the knees facing forward. Try not to let your knees go too far over the end of your toes. See both legs in line there, no wobble left to right, the knee just drops down and the body drops down. Try and keep that back straight up. The dumbbells go down and we go straight into body weighted jump lunges. Here we're going to look at fitness circuit 2. Set 2 at 3 sets again. 30 seconds of an incline treadmill run. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 3 times. So 3 minutes worth of work. Straight back into a dumbbell circuit with the upright row, 10 repetitions. Dumbbell lateral raise, 10 repetitions. And then dumbbell press up and pull where there's 2 variations. Here we go on the treadmill. Set the speed before you start counting your 30 seconds. Run on it. When you need to break for your 30 seconds, hands onto the bar on the sides and pick your feet up and put them on either side. Now be very careful when you're going back onto the sprint that you start running nice and light on the treadmill with your feet hardly touching the floor before you take your hands off, and then you start running. Into the upright row, keeping that elbow nice and high above your wrist at all times. In a good stance, knees slightly bent so you're not putting too much back into it, and then it's all focusing on the shoulders. Into a lateral raise, nice and controlled, again in a part squat position so you're not thrusting those hips forward. And then finally into a press up and pull. Now you can either do the press up here and the pull with both feet on the floor. If you're finding that too hard and there's too much wobble through your midsection, drop to your knees, press up and then a pull. Nice and quick, nice and quick. Fitness circuit superset 3. 3 sets again, 10 repetitions. Dumbbell high pull, 5 on each arm. Dumbbell alternative push, so 10 left, 10 right while one goes up, one comes down. Body weighted squat with explosive jump into everybody's favourite, a burpee. Dumbbell high pull, pulling all the way through, trying to get that triple extension from the ankle, the knee and the hip, finishing nice and strong there. Looking at it with the other arm, so watch the hips drive through. A good squat position again through the back, that's most important. So that back's in a good neutral position, no risk of injury. Then an alternative shoulder press, so one up, left up, right up, left up, right up. Making sure we work the core, a little bit of knee bend's fine. It's a circuit, not a strengthening exercise. Then into our squat jump again, good back position, down and up, down and up, down and up. Straight down. Press up with the burpee, chest to the floor. And that's the first fitness circuit finished. Okay, looking at a little bit of off-feet conditioning, our first week of pre-season, we're going to do a rowing session. 500 metre intervals with a 2-minute recovery in between each interval. Now you've got to do as many intervals as you can, and here's the challenge. How many reps of the 500 metres do you think you can do with 2 minutes recovery? But you've got to pick how good you think your fitness is. So, do you do it at 1 minute 50, 1 minute 45, 1 minute 40 for 500? If you don't make 8 repetitions of getting quicker than 1 metre 50 or under, or 1 metre 45 or under, or the same for 140, then you have to row 2,000 metres. That's the challenge. So here's how we set it up. Press the menu button, press select workout, new workout, and then we're looking at doing intervals of distance. We set it for 500 metres. The rest time, as we said, was 2 minutes. And we're just going to look at the basic pace of 150. So the pace boat is going to set your time. You've got to beat the pace boat. If you don't beat the pace boat, you've got to row the 2,000 metres out in one go. And it also shows that you're not fit enough. So here we go. Now my average there is 134 for 500, 131, 128. So I'm pulling ahead from the pace boat after just less than 100 metres. So I should be going at the 140 pace really. So we work through for the 500 metres, keeping that back nice and strong, not locking the knees out, big leg drive, big aggressive pull, but not leaning forward. Here we go, last 40 metres, still at 134. So I'm now, this was my second rep where I did do it against 140 in the pace boat, and the pace boat was a bit closer. Once you hit the end, it tells me my time there. I did it in 136, so I should be targeting 140. And the first one at 150 was a demo for the explanation. So I've now got 145 recovery. I then come in and I've got to beat the pace boat again, based at the target pace of 140. Enjoy that. Okay, total body weights, core lifts. Okay, if you're not happy with squat, or you haven't got someone to spot you, or you've never done it before, we can use a leg press. But with the squat, holding the breath on the way down, breathing out 3/4 of the way back up, so breathing out there, keeping that back in a good strong position, neutral, core switched on, reasonable depth. We need to be trying to hit 90 degrees at least, but not limiting by bending our back forward. Alternatively, use the leg press if you've not squatted before, especially for some of our younger clients. Okay, bench press. Core exercise, everybody likes it. Making sure we're not going too wide on our grip, keeping the shoulders, keeping your elbows tucked in, squeezing those towards the rib cage. Chin to wrist, a little bit of a variation from a chin up. So we pull to the left, chin to the wrist on the left, and then chin to the wrist on the right. Chin to lift on the left, chin to wrist on the right. Dumbbell seated shoulder press, 4 times 6. Just straight up and down. Nice and controlled, keeping our feet on the floor. Pretty steady lift. Shoulders against top of the back against the bench. Dips, looking to get down to 90 degrees. 4 times 10 body weight. Single leg press. Just looking for a little bit more glute activation, taking it down so the knees at 90 degrees again, not extending the knee so it locks out, changing the leg over, so you'll feel that a lot more through the glute. Okay, third weight session, upper body weights, all done with supersets. So dumbbell alternative chest press, 6 left and 6 right, supersetted with a neutral grip chin. 4 sets of dumbbell single arm pull, 6 left and 6 right, supersetted with single arm standing shoulder press, 6 left and 6 right, and then finishing with 3 sets of a dumbbell lateral raise, 10 reps, superset with a dumbbell front raise, 10 reps. So the idea of the superset is to go from lifting the first exercise, the dumbbell alternative press, and then go straight to the chin-ups, do your chin-ups, and then have a rest. Here's the dumbbell alternative press. As one dumbbell's going up, the other one's coming down, alternating on your left and right. As soon as you've finished that, straight into the chin-ups. Neutral grip chin, palms facing, pulling yourself up, trying to limit the amount of swing from the hips, so it's all working through the arms. Second is a dumbbell arm pull. Hand on the bench in a bit of a jackal position, legs back, knees bent, pulling that arm, not too much shoulder rotation, just using the arm, straight into a single arm dumbbell shoulder press. Pushing up, not too much knee bend, just in that little squat position like we've talked about before, so you're not using the hips too much, and then just working the shoulder. Dumbbell lateral raise and front raise. This can either be combined or a superset, so here we're going to go lateral raise and front raise. One lat, one front, making sure the shoulders are working quite hard. 10 reps on each, so 1, 1, 2, 2. Gives the shoulders a good workout. It's good to have good muscle mass around the shoulders, protecting a very important joint. Again, in that squat position, making sure there's not too much hip drive. And that's the end of your weight training podcast. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please feel free to contact us if you've got any questions, either via the website or via the Facebook group. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your lifting.